Nursing home visitations were placed on hold during the early days of the pandemic, putting a strain on residents and their loved ones. In March, the state suspended visitors, and in May, only limited outdoor visits were allowed. Yvonne wrote to Fox 61 any updates on the opening of nursing homes or some plan on visiting the patients inside. The outside visits are okay, but not the same. My mother is in a nursing home and her mental status has gone downhill. Governor Ned Lamont acknowledged how difficult it's been with restrictions on nursing home visitations and said that the state is trying to make it easier for people to see loved ones in nursing homes.
Facilities will create their own visitation plans, but most importantly, you can spend a little more time with a loved one there as necessary. Compassionate care, in the facility itself, in the room, somebody in real need, we're making sure that's available. And also it promotes emotional health and well-being.
New guidelines are now in place for facilities that have been COVID-19 free for 14 days. Those guidelines talk about the frequency of visits, how long they are, and where they can occur. We posted information on fox61.com.
This is a policy that is not for every resident of the nursing facility, but it does impact the general way that nursing homes are handling visits.
Remember, if you have a question you'd like us to answer, you can email share61@fox61.com. And don't forget, you can always head to fox61.com/answers to see the questions we've answered for you already. I'm Amanda Rouse, Fox 61 News.